Good day, I'm Mark Lawrence in Padayag, Biscrim to Black Sea. And today we're talking about the principles of light. And first is the reflection. Reflection is the rebounding to deflection of light as it hits the surface. And next is the absorption. Light is absorbed by different substance much as water is taken upon a sponge. And transmission. Light can be transmitted or passed through transparent and translucent substance. And next is the characteristic of light. And first is intensity, refers to the amount of light falling on an object. And next is color. It depends on the size of wavelength and visible spectrum. And next is the quality, refers to the hardness or softness of light. And next is direction, given with difference to camera. Subject axis an imaginary line drawn from the camera to the subject. And next is the ultraviolet light, wavelength of 200 to 400 millimicrons. It is the use to photograph fingerprints on multicolored background documents that are altered chemically or overwritings and the detection of secret writings. And next is the infrared light, wavelength of 700 to 800 millimicrons. It is used in taking photographs of obliterated writings burned on dirty documents of blackout photography. And next is the X-ray, wavelength of 10 to 30 millimicrons. And there are two sources of photographic rays, the natural light and the artificial light. The natural light is the made by God, or for example the sunlight. And next is the artificial light, the man-made, like fluorescent and etc. And next is the natural light. Classification of daylight. First is the bright sunlight. The subject will produce a strong shadow object in open space, appears glossy or bright, and the colors are saturated. The object in open space casts shadows with one deep and uniform in shade. And next is hazy light, obscured by light clouds. Intensity of the direct light falling on the object in open space is decreased. And last is the dull light, obscured by heavy clouds, atmospheric moisture, and dust and atmospheric moisture, dust and serial haze. No direct sunlight touch object in open space. And for the artificial light, there are 6 types of artificial light. And first is the photographic lamp. It's also known as the reflectorized light or spotlight. This type of lamp used to reflection of focus the light on the subject. The lifespan is 7 to 8 hours with wavelength of 500 watts. And next is the flash bulb, are electrical lamps as generate lights by the rapid combustion of metal and oxygen. And next is the electronic flash, produce light by instantaneous electrical discharge between two electrodes and gas filtered glass bulb. And next is the fluorescent lamp, are tube lamps wherein walls are coated by materials capable of fluorescent. Both ends have a terminal and commonly mounted into a holder that serves as the reflection. And next is the infrared lamp, a special type of artificial light that is capable of producing infrared radiation. This type of bulb is useful in photographing the object or subject at dark places. And last is the ultraviolet lamp, a gas lamp burning disulfide vapor in oxygen in 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 nitrate oxide, which is common to dark light. And there are two ultraviolet lamps, the continuous radiation and the short radiation. Continuous radiation is the incandescent lamps, fluorescent lamps, and photoblood, and etc. And the short radiation is chemical flash like flash bulb and electronic flash. And for the primary colors is the blue, green, and red. And the secondary colors is the cyan, yellow, and magenta. And for the sensitized material, um, and for first is film characteristic, color sensitivity, an extent of which representation of colors a shade of gray is acceptable. The most important characteristic of a film its variation in response of different wavelength of light source are the spectral sensitivity. For the general types of emulsion, first is the monochromatic films, sensitive only to the blue-violet ends of the spectrum. And next, the orthochromatic film, sensitive to all colors of the spectrum except red. And next is the panchromatic film, sensitive to all colors of the visible spectrum. And next is the infrared film. Infrared film is the sensitive to red rays beyond the humanly visible spectrum. And next is the color film, a mixture of basic color of the visible spectrum. And lastly is the X-ray. X-ray film, sensitive to the X-ray region of the electromagnetic spectrum. And that's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you.